Hey, what's up, guys? It's ReavaaH. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Zerg race and how you can beat them. Really, I mean, I've been getting some questions recently, just saying, how do I deal with Zerg in the late game, mid game, because they just seem to get stronger and stronger, and then there's nothing you can really do about it. It's like you end up with like 20, 30 roaches at your front door, and it's hard to deal with. I find the key to dealing with Zerg is simply to stop them from getting to that stage in the first place. Now that doesn't mean you have to just forgate them or cannon rush them or do something like that. I see quite a few players deciding that they're going to go for a flat-out cannon rush, trap the Zerg in their base, and the issue with that is they end up going for a Nidus Worm, which is the proper response. I mean, I used to be a Zerg player for a rather long time. My main race was Zerg, so I know how to play Zerg, and I know how the weaknesses of that race quite well. But yeah, this is a game that I played last night. I was laddering really hard last night. I managed to get myself promoted from silver to gold in one sitting. Really, I've been playing a lot better recently. I've been playing more like a platinum or a diamond player, and I've been doing really well. So I'm building a forge right now, as you can see. This is for a forge fast expand. So what I'm gonna try and do, I'm gonna try and see. I'm going to try and take my second base very early and use the cannons to defend. However, when I went down to scout his base with this probe, I saw that he didn't have any spawning pool up, which means he's going to be going for a fast second base, which I see there. So this is a really quick way that you can slow a Zerg player down really early. I'm not going to do it like most people do it. As you can see here, the forge is going to finish up, the probe's going to come around, and I'm going to drop a pylon right next to his base. Right next to his second base. Now I'm not trying to kill him, I'm not trying to completely kill the Zerg player with this. I'm not going to cannon rush the heck out of him, destroy his entire army, surround his base in cannons. Because that's the kind of thing bronze players do, which actually, if you're a bronze player, a cannon rush is a legitimate strategy, and actually it helps. I think it plays a rather important role within the StarCraft community in terms of how, you've got people who've got to learn how to deal with these things. So actually, I don't mind cannon rushes if you're, bronze, silver. Once you get past that, though, you need to start trying new tactics. So now this isn't a full, I wouldn't call this a full cannon rush. What I'm doing is I'm going to be surrounding this pylon in cannons, so that he can't kill the pylon. He has to get through the cannons first. Now, as you can see, he hasn't got hardly any units out. He's only just dropped his spawning pool, and I'm staying on one base. I'm starting my gateway. I just need to get as far ahead against him as possible. As you can see, the cannons are going to start downing his hatchery here. So all of a sudden, the normal Zerg macro opener of straight up second base doesn't work as well, because quite simply he can't set the second base up. So he's going to be behind now throughout the entire game. He's wasted 300 minerals on that hatchery. So this is going to be really annoying for him, and it's going to put him behind by a very long way. So yeah, he managed to get some Zerglings out there, and then the hatchery goes down. Those aren't going to do anything. So that's fairly easy. That's a fairly easy win there for the second base. So all he has now is a couple of Zerglings. Those Zerglings that he has aren't going to be nearly enough to take those cannons. So he's just going to sit back. There's not an awful lot he can do. He's going to get a Roach Warren up. Can't get a second base down. He could go for this base, but with these rocks here, it's almost undefendable. If he was to go for that base and I was to scout it, then I would be able to kill that as well with only a couple of Zealots. He's going to start a second hatchery up here. I don't know. Why did he do that? Oh well. So I don't know why, but he's going to start a second hatchery up here. Meanwhile, I'm just taking advantage as much as I can of the fact that he's behind. I'm going to get some defense out because I've put so many minerals. How many minerals is that? That's 400 minerals there in just that cannon rush. So I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to do a lot I'm not going to have any units out. And if he had realised that, he would have attacked me a lot sooner, which is why I put these cannons in the mineral line, just to help defend. If you cannon rush a Zerg player, you don't go for a full cannon rush, he can very easily just counter-attack you straight away. So these Zerglings are going to make their way across. I think he's realised that I haven't got many units out. I can't have many units out if I spend 400 minerals on that cannon rush. That probe can't get out, but that's alright. So yeah, these Zerglings are going to try and push in here. I get my mothership core out. This is just for the photon overcharge, just in case he sends roaches at me as well, because the cannons alone in the back of my mineral are not going to be enough to deal with roaches. Yeah, the Zerglings are going to come in here. They're going to get chased away by these two Zealots. There's no way that many Zerglings can take down two Zealots and mothership core. So I'm going to push that away really nicely, really easily. and I'm going to continue with researching my warp gate. I'm going to add another pylon, and I'm going to start adding on some more gateways. At this stage in the game, I'm so far ahead, I can afford just to macro up. He can't do much. He's got a couple more zerglings, and he's going to start building roaches in a minute. But there's not really an awful lot he can do. If he attacks these cannons, he's going to lose so many zerglings that it's not going to have been worth it. But you know, he's taking precautions here. He's getting some creep tumors up, so I can't start building cannons around the around his base. I wasn't going to do that anyway. I don't like playing like that. This cannon rush here, as you can see, this cannon rush is not to kill him. This is just to delay his. Well, it's not just delayed at the moment. It's just not happening. This is just to stop him from taking his second base. If he wanted to, he could knock these rocks down and go for his second there, but it would be so delayed at 8 minutes and 15 seconds that there would be no point in doing that. So instead, he's going to opt for a Nidus Worm, which is the proper response. If this had been done to me, I would have done the same thing. But I'm going to start moving out here with my army. There's 4 zealots and a mothership core. It's not a lot because I dumped so many minerals into those cannons, but I am going to go for a 4-gate style build here. Simply because I want to follow that cannon rush up with as much aggression as possible. So he's going to fly in his overlord down here, and he's going to drop a Nidus Worm in my base. Now at this stage, I know that I'm halfway across the map. I've only got 4 zealots. There's no point whatsoever in trying to go for some aggression here, because he's probably going to have more stuff than I am. So I'm going to recall there. I'm going to use the mothership core's energy just to recall back to my nexus. In a second, if I don't choke. There we go. Finally. Too bad. So I'm going to recall here, and that Nidus Worm has just finished up. He's going to start loading units into it. So as you can see, we've got a few roaches here and some zerglings. I'm going to warp in another 4 zealots, and I'm going to go for that push on the Nidus Worm, and just try and kill it, because there's no point in pushing his base when he's got units in mine. I'm only halfway across the map and I haven't got a lot, so I'm simply going to kill that Nidus Worm off. I'm going to kill the units that have come out of it. What I should have done at this stage is gone to kill the Overlord as well, but instead I opted just to go with the aggression as fast as possible, because he's even further behind now. I don't even know if I lost any units in that engagement. Units lost. Resources. Yeah, I lost, what, a probe. I lost a probe, which is nothing compared to how much he's lost. He's lost 1,200 resources in total to my 50. He's going to bring his Nidus Worm out here. Now, as you can see, I've started pressuring with a few stalkers, so he's still got to defend. He can't afford. I noticed the Nidus Worm has come down, but I know he can't afford to bring units out there because he needs all of them to defend. He's just seen that I've got stalkers. So he's going to finally clear this cannon rush up. But all this is just distraction at this point. You know, all I'm doing is building my army up outside his base. I'm going to go in with these units here. He can't bring anything out of the Nidus Worm because he needs everything to defend. Got all those roaches. I'm going to do as much damage as I can here with these units. That stalker's unfortunately going to die. I wasn't really paying attention to that, which wasn't very good of me. But yeah, I've lost quite a lot of stuff there, to be fair. I'm going to keep moving up this ramp. I'm going to warp in even more units at this pylon, and I'm just going to keep pushing him. So as you can see now, he's really on the back foot. I mean, he's trying to hurry down 2 spine crawlers, but they're not going to be finished in time with all these zealots running around. I'm going to pick up a few queens, which is nice. Start picking up these spine crawlers. If I let the spine crawlers finish, then I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. So I'm just focusing on the stalkers. I'm just going to keep pushing here with these zealots. Yeah, the whole point in one, if I kill his army, I can just start going to work on his drones. The drones come out here, time warp them, does that, and he leaves the game. So yeah, that's generally what. This is nice cheese as well. Now, I wouldn't personally class this as a cheese. I cannon rushed his second base. I wouldn't call that a cheese purely because it's slowing him down. All it's doing is slowing him down. He could have taken his second base there. He could have gone for a proxy hatch. He could have very easily put a hatchery down on my third base. It's the fact that all I wanted to do was slow him down. And against a Zerg player, you do have to slow them down. You can do this either by cannon rushing their second, like I just did there, or you can get a Oracle out and start harassing their mineral line.